guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to just be a quick reading update. Because I did a whole weather section in my other video, we had a huge storm that left us with freezing temperatures, snow and ice, and just messed up my whole schedule. So I'm just going to be talking about what I got to. As you know, I did a full dedicated review to the Andromeda Strain, which I'm on the fence about, and I think I came away from it feeling like I just wish it had been more. And I think that it definitely lacked characterization, and I had a lot of issues with the book. But overall, I'm going to say it's worth reading. So if you want to see my full talkative review on the Andromeda Strain, check it out. But yeah, so the Andromeda Strain was what I finished first. Okay, so next up I read Tougher Than You Know by Ava Cates. I'm guessing that's how you say her name. I'll put it there. And this author reached out to me on Instagram, was like, hey, do you want to review my book? I'll send it to you. She didn't ask for a review. She was like, I can send you my book for free. I never do that because I feel like it's weird. I am perfectly capable of buying my own books. And I also don't want to tell the author like, oh, sure, send me your book for free, because I have no idea when I'm going to get to that review. And I would never want to have someone waiting on a review from me. Not like that I have a big following or anything, but I mean, any positive reviews are going to help out an author that is smaller or an indie author. So I told her, no, I see your book on Kindle. I'll just get it. It's not expensive. It was 99 cents. So I had liked her post and she reached out to me, but then I just went and bought the book myself. It's called Tougher Than You Know, and I expected nothing. Did not know what the book was about. I didn't even look up the plot or anything. This is about the author's childhood and then her growing up with mental health issues. I will say, I think this format only works because it is written like you are standing over her shoulder reading her diary, her journals. And it is so raw and unpolished, but it hits hard at certain points. And I think that's why it works. I don't think appreciate this format in a normal storytelling format. I wouldn't like a fantasy written this way or a mystery. But because she's going through her life starting very young, when she is the victim of SA from a neighbor boy. So this is childhood SA. And it is not graphic, but you know what's happening, and it's not described graphically. If you are sensitive, I will say the language is probably PG, the content is probably PG-13, but like I said, it's not graphic, but it is, mental health struggles. She is at some points in a mental health facility. It seems that this is always with her consent, but she is very clearly having struggles with wanting to unalive herself. She struggles from anorexia and different issues throughout her life. And I think it's a really good book. I feel like it's super interesting, but also it's informative. And I appreciate that this is a Christian author, although I will say not in the stereotypical Christian author sense, because I was like, oh, that's weird. There's language in this book. And I just thought maybe this is her first book that she's written as a Christian author, because this was a little bit different. But I appreciate the honesty, and she's just writing from her experience, and if that's how she talks, that's how she talks. That's totally fine. And also I think it's great that she doesn't talk about once you are a Christian, once she has her conversion experience, that she didn't need medicine or that she didn't need therapy and all that. That's not the case. She is still struggling. She's been able to deal with it better, and she feels like she can, she has a support system in her church and her family, but she does not talk about oh, I don't need medicine and I was completely healed from all my mental health issues. I appreciate her for that. I think that is so real, and something that people in the church need to understand, that mental health struggles are real, and sometimes you do need medication, and a lot of times you really do need therapy and counseling, and that's not something you should look down on. So that's my thoughts on that. But I like this book. It spoke to me as someone who does and has struggled with depression and anxiety, and obviously what the author is going through is a lot darker and more difficult, but I appreciated all of her honesty, and also just that she doesn't shy away from the really real problems and how it affects her whole family. I think that that's really important. Her talking about how upsetting it was when she's literally hearing voices telling her she can't trust her mom. And when she tells her mom that, how her mom is crying and so upset. And of course she is. Her mom has always supported her and loved her and is, you know, her one person that has always been there for her, but she's hearing these voices in her head and she can't control it and her mom can't control it. And it's just sad. I mean, these things do affect you and they affect everyone around you. And I think that's great the author's addressing this. So, recommendation. Okay, and then into the rabbit hole of me being a mood reader, I was like, hey, I'm just going to read a manga because I don't have a lot of time and I have to go to bed soon, but I can read this quickly. So Attack on Titan was free on my Kindle, and I tried to watch. My husband was watching the anime, and I was like, no. Because this anime is so gory. And I just remember, it's like, I don't know what it is about the Titans that they hit this like disturbing humanoid form. I'll get into what the book's about. I'm just gonna explain why I couldn't handle the anime. Where you are, it's so gross because it's like cannibalistic what's going on, but also you don't really fully accept that the Titans are human, but it's so gory. But in the manga, however you say it, it is black and white. The whole manga is in black and white. There's no color. So even the blood, like it's done in black and white. It's still gross. There are still certain parts where I was like, oh, that's really gross. I wish they wouldn't have drawn that way. That's really icky. Super gory, but it's not the same. And also, you're not like hearing the crunch, crunch, crunch of what's going on. If you know, you know. But yeah, so it doesn't hit the same as the anime. Like I could handle reading the manga and it didn't just like, ugh. Like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I feel sick to my stomach. With the anime, I just could not. I don't think I could now. Even more so than I didn't even have kids and like wasn't as sensitive back then, but now for sure. So this is about in the future. The human race is basically living in this walled, fortified city. So there's like the inner ring, the outer ring, the outer ring. So everyone's surrounded by this huge wall because there are these creatures, the Titans, that are very, very tall, like giants, and they are humanoid figures. Like they have humanish faces, and arms and legs, but no like female and male anatomy. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be graphic. It's just true. So like they don't know how the Titans got there, how they reproduce, how are the Titans? What are the Titans? But they eat humans. That's all that they know, that they just eat them for seemingly no reason, but just they see humans, they eat humans. That is their goal. I don't know. Yeah, that's that starting point. And then you have the children who are living in the city. These are going to be our main characters. Aaron, Armin, and I won't remember the girl's name. I'll put it there. They're like our three main characters. I think I'm saying the boys' names right, but I'll put them there anyway. So they grow up and they are one of the first witnesses of the colossal Titan. So they've been safe in this walled city for 100 years from the Titans. But finally, a Titan comes that is so big, so tall, that he can attack their walled city, and he breaches the wall and then kind of just disappears. But then that lets in a bunch of Titans, and the first ring around the city is falls. And all the people there pretty much get killed, but these kids survive, and then they are in, the next city. And they're just training, knowing that there's going to come a day they're going to be soldiers, but they're going to probably have to go fight these Titans, or that the colossal Titan can come back and their city could be destroyed. So they have they had been living in safety for so long, they were a little bit complacent, and now they have no guarantee that humanity can even go on. So if you don't want any spoilers, that's the basics, the very basics. I'll get into slight spoilers. I'm on book 4 now, and I like it, but then I don't. So very quickly, the main 3 characters go through their military training. They all decide to be part of the Survey Corps, I think it's called, where they actually go out and they go face the Titans. They have these kind of scaling devices where they can climb and swing around, and then they the one spot that the Titans are vulnerable is the back of the neck, so they slice through the back of their neck and kill them. And that's it. So we're like meeting up with them again after their whole village was kind of like destroyed. They have seen the Colossal Titan. They are scared, but they're going to train. They're going to go. And the one, Eren, he is so bent on revenge because his mom was killed in that attack. And so he is, I'm going to kill all the Titans. That's his goal. No matter what, I'm taking all the Titans down. And so their first battle is basically where this like starts up. And they're just getting slaughtered. They're getting slaughtered. All of them are dying. They're separated from the girl character. Wish I could remember her name. It's right there. And then Eren and Armin, I think is how you say it, are fighting together. And the Eren is like the athletic. He's he's like super like aggressive. I'm gonna just kill the Titans. And his friend is more like, the analytical. He's like the brains of the operation. So he's not very good at fighting, and he ends up almost getting killed. But Eren jumps in, pulls him basically out of the Titan's mouth, and gets I won't do that again. Chomped down by the Titan, and they think killed. So that's how that first book ends, I believe. And it's all the books kind of end on a cliffhanger, which I also don't appreciate. So you're like, okay, I have to figure out what happens next. So then, and of course, like I said, these are spoilers. So Eren doesn't die. He actually becomes a Titan. So how does that happen? We don't know. We don't have any kind of like what happened. We know his dad was kind of a scientist, maybe mad scientist, with experimenting on him. I think there's a flashback to him like getting an injection that he says is painful, and he's supposed to go back to his hometown and find this basement facility that's going to give him all the answers, which we're still not at in book 4. But yeah, so there's all these things that happen with Eren being able to transform into a Titan. They have plans. They're going to plug up the hole in the wall, different stuff. But then in book 4, they take a big detour to back in their training, back to when they were doing all their military training. And this to me was not great because all those characters, except for a few, are dead. So we already know. So I didn't really like that. I felt like it was a really poor time to kind of pause the story and halt all the action to now go back and be like, hey, remember all those characters who died? Well, here's what they were all about and what they wanted to do and their aspirations and who they really were as people. And I was like, okay, but why can he turn into a Titan? What was his dad doing? What is going on with this? Like, what are the implications of him being able to turn into a Titan? Is it going to kill him? Can other people turn into Titans? Where's his dad? What's going on? And I have theories. I have lots of theories. So if I continue to finish this, I will let you know if I was right about anything. But let me know in the comments if you love this, if you think it's worth finishing. Are there going to be more questions than answers? I don't even know if it's finished. Let me know. But definitely, I'm at least finished book 4. So that's pretty much all I got to for this beginning of the month. It's been crazy. We are finally above freezing today. So good. And yeah, so I'm hoping to get back into a more, a schedule, but we were basically just surviving, trying to stay warm and trying to make it through with, what we have here at the house, not going out too much. And so, yeah, I am happy we're back to a normal schedule, and hopefully I'll be able to get some more stuff read. I am still reading A Fractured Mind, and so I have a buddy read coming up for February. So if you want to join me in reading Lord of the Flies, let me know in the comments, because I've never read it. I watched the movie in school. Don't ask me why. I don't know why on earth that was. I would tell you why, but it would make no sense. It would make absolutely no sense. But yes, that was a school film in high school I had to watch. So Lord of the Flies, if you want to join us it's me and my brother are going to read it in February. And then, the other thing I'm going to read in February, because love, what was it? Man, focus. Oh, I'm going to try and read Baron and Luthien, I believe is how it is, by J.R.R. Tolkien in February. So if I get to any of those, I'm hoping, because February, love month, whatever, I was hoping to try and read like an epic romance. And so I think that ends up being like sad, tragic, but also, hey, it's Tolkien. It's going to be good. So let me know if you want to join me in any of those reads, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.